Share a little bit of a spiritual discipline. It's kind of a little a little nugget for us and part of the monastic tradition. And it's a beautiful way to sort of redirect and reorient ourselves to the moment. It's like um, it's like taking a breath. It's preparing ourselves. And it's called Statio. And Statio is really the place in between two things. So when we're moving from one experience to another, there's this moment. It's like the pause in between the inhale and the exhale, where we can sort of really anchor into a quality of presence, but it's like really subtle, isn't it? Like that pause in between the inhale and exhale, if we're not paying attention, if we're not intentional about noticing it, it can go missed. And it's then an opportunity to really notice this moment of subtlety that has such richness and even a potentiality for union. And it is what brings two things together. And so statio can simply be that, a breath before we move to something different. It's a pause or like a meditative pause. Um, and it prepares us for something new. It's a commitment to stop doing one thing before we start another. And if you're like me and you're a busy mom and you have like oftentimes multiple engagements going on at one time, everything seems like they just sort of blend into one another. Like you're just running from one thing to the next, like literally barely catching your breath before you're into the next thing. And, whether it's like finishing up the last bit of dishes, grabbing the bag, running it out to the garage to get into the car, hop into the car to do the next thing, whether it's an errand or a drop off or whatnot. Our entire day goes at this pace, right? Like it's like just this constant stream of motion, movement, activity. And there's an invitation here for us that is something super simple that we can do to try to create a little more sacredness in our everyday life. And so this also helps us be not only be in the readiness, but to prepare ourselves to be who we are needed to be for the next thing. Like, how do we want to show up for the next experience in life? And so it helps to sort of gather our pieces so that we can bring all of ourselves into the next experience. So let's practice, okay? So before we go into the next experience in our day, in the next moment, let's just tune in. We're going to get our body still, whether you're standing or sitting. We're going to connect to our breath and let's take 3 breaths. And let's notice that little pause at the top of the inhale, exhale. Notice the pause before the inhale. And maybe at the end of this last breath, just tune in to the resting place inside your physical temple. Just take a moment to notice your inner sanctuary. Maybe take one last breath to sort of soften the frenetic energy that you've been in. And then slowly, as you open your eyes, coming renewed, refreshed, revitalized, recentered to go into your next experience. So, this beautiful practice, Statio, comes out of that monastic tradition, those who knew how to do devotional life and contemplative life so beautifully. We can take that into our everyday life as um, a modern devotional mystic. I hope this blesses your day.